because we are talking about, let me see what we're talking about here. Talking about squares, first of all. We're actually going to do 2 more pieces of paper here. And by math, when we talk about squares in math, we're not always talking about the shape of the square, but we're talking about this. We're talking about exponents and powers. But when we talk about specifically about a square, we're talking about this little number, which is called an exponent. It is also known as, anybody else know what else we call it? A power. Okay, and then this number here we call the base. And I will give you a second to write that down because what I have to say here is critically important. Mr. Crimson.
Is that a snowman or?
Oh, it's an 8.
I hope it's a 8, but should I make it a 7?
Snowman.
To make your life easier. In golf, yes, an 8 is a snowman. Okay, and then this is what this means. Write this down. It won't make any sense now, but it probably will later, okay? The exponent tells you how many bases get multiplied together. Write that down and then I'll tell you exactly what that means. And then I will tell you the mistake that probably at least half of you will make. Even when you get to be 7th and sometimes even 8th graders. The exponent tells you how many bases get multiplied together. Today we're not only talking about squares, but later on we'll talk about cubes and 4th powers and 5th powers and 6th powers and 7th powers or whatever. This little number 2, let me tell you first of all, okay, the answer to this problem is not 16. It is not 8 times 2. It is 2 8s times themselves. This is 8 squared. The answer to this is 64 because it's 8 times itself is 64. It's not 8 plus 8, which is 16, or 8 times 2. It is 8 times 8, which is 64. Just like 4 squared is not 8, it is 4 times 4, and that is 16. 11 squared, children. Do we know what 11 squared is? 11 times 11, it's not 22, that's 11 plus 11. 11 squared is 11 times 11. Alex?
121.
It is 121. 30 squared. It's not 30 times 2, it's not 60. It is 30 times 30, which is, Ryan, 900. Okay. 15 times 15, or 15 squared is? You got to think in here. Peter? Huh? It is 225. How about this one? 1,000 squared. That's not 2,000. Calvin?
1 million?
1 million. Perfect. Good. Now that we've got that set, we have one more piece of paper.